Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Sanford Kahn here, business author, speaker. Welcome to this YouTube video entitled "Why Raising Taxes, Raising Taxes Will Make Us All Cry." I appreciate it very much. As your professor, Professor Kahn, if you could subscribe to my channel and hit the like symbol. That's the thumbs up symbol. Appreciate it very much. It'll make this professor very happy. So why will raising taxes make us all cry? You have to remember this, that raising taxes, any taxes, is an economic depressant. It puts downward pressure on economic growth. And if you raise them too high, the economy could stumble and go into a recession. Now, not all taxes are equal. Raising all taxes will depress economic growth, but some will do it more. The worst tax to raise, as far as economic growth goes, is a tax on labor, namely the income tax. That's the worst one. That one will be felt almost immediately in the economy. Why? Actually, why for any taxes, but especially income taxes, is because it'll suck money, capital, out of private hands into the coffers of government. And you think government spends their money wisely? Think again. No, they don't. They spend it unwisely on social programs and all that. You could argue they're necessary, but they don't lead to any real production in the economy. But private money does. So that's why raising taxes will make us all cry, because it depresses economic growth. Now, I'd like to give you two examples, one in the UK and also here, about raising, especially I'm going to deal with income taxes because it's the worst kind, and that's what politicians in the United States and maybe other countries, but definitely in the United States, when they want to raise taxes, they want to raise it on the so-called rich. And like there's a huge amount of rich people in the United States. There's a lot of rich people, but rich in net worth, not necessarily in income. So anyways, let's go with the first one with the UK, because this has a lot of spillover to the United States, especially the United States, because there's nothing magical about what happened in the UK in this example. There was a prime minister in the UK a number of years ago called Gordon Brown. I never forgot him. He served not too long, I think just a few years. Wasn't exactly setting any records. But anyways, he wanted to raise hundreds of millions of pounds to the government to finance social welfare programs and I guess close their budget deficit also. So he decided, I'm going to raise taxes on the top 1%, the top 1% of earners in the UK. That would be the rich. In any country, that would be considered the rich. Okay. So he did it. He got it through Parliament. He did it. And they did the calculations. This is going to raise hundreds of millions of pounds, which would be a lot of dollars. So they actually studied it, and this is what's going to happen. Well, lo and behold, it didn't happen. They raised it on the top 1%, substantially. They raised the marginal tax rate substantially on the top 1%. And guess what? Not only did they not raise what they thought they were going to raise, the income to government from the top 1% plummeted by 40%. Went down 40%. Why? Because people don't want to work for government. Over 50% of their marginal income was going to government. People decided no. So the government sucked money out of the economy, and these people lost their incentives to work, save, and invest, and the economy suffered. And the UK government got less money. So this is why it makes you all cry. When people, the top 1%, have less money, they have less money to spend, they have less money to invest, and what happens? New jobs are not created. The economy stagnates. That's why it makes us cry. So let's go to another example. This is the United States in the 1920s. well before Gordon Brown. This was during the Harding administration. The Harding administration, with then Treasury Secretary Mellon, decided they want to do a thorough study. Now, the income tax was fairly new at this time. So they wanted to do a thorough study on what top marginal rate would not only give people the incentives to work and produce, but would also maximize income to government. Now, they knew if they made the rate way too high, like Gordon Brown did, they were smart. They knew it would destroy the incentives to work, invest, make income, and therefore pay taxes. Income actually would go down to government. They actually knew that. Gordon Brown didn't know it. But if they made the rate too low, really low, yeah, people would have tremendous incentives to work and make money and all that, but the low rate would not produce a lot of income, additional income. I'm talking about additional income to government. So they did a thorough study, and lo and behold, what do you think the top rate was that they came up with? Now, this is before computers. The top rate was that would not only give people the incentives to work, in other words, would not destroy the incentives to work, but would also produce the top additional income to government. It produced the it would increase the marginal income to government. It would maximize it. That's the word I'm using for. I'm searching for. I don't have a script in front of me. That would maximize the income to government. What do you think it was? It was 25%. 25%. Now, this is before a profusion of state income taxes, and whatever state income taxes they had in those days were very small. That is not the case today, especially California, New York, New Jersey, Illinois, and some other states have huge marginal tax rates. New York State, if you live in New York State and work in New York City, you got a state income tax and a city income tax. And then you pay your federal income tax. So the people in the United States, when you look at all the taxes they're paying, especially the top maybe 40% of taxpayers, are paying more than 25% of their income to government. There's something they would be called, back in the days of Pharaoh, they actually called them wage slaves. They're wage slaves. The top 1% of income earners in the United States, that would be the rich, pay at least, this is from IRS data, at least 45% of the total federal personal income tax. At least 45%. The bottom 50% pay approximately 2.3% of the total personal federal income tax. So if you raise the income tax rates on the top, guess what? They decide, why work for government? We're paying over 50, all taxes considered, we're paying over 50% to government. We'll just take it easy. So they have less money to invest in new businesses. Guess what? They employ less people, they lay off people, and the economy suffers. That's why it makes us all cry. That's it. Taxing the rich, well, you could do it, but we're all going to pay for it. Why? Why? Because, let me put my hands here. We're all interconnected. We are all interconnected. If you take money away from the rich, let's say top 1%, the top 5%, so-called rich, then they have less money to spend, less money to invest, less new jobs are created, and less employment opportunities are created. The economy stagnates. It may grow, but grow maybe 1.5% a year. That's no good. That's horrible. You want an economy growing 3, 4, 5% a year to have new opportunities. You want to encourage entrepreneurship. That's the whole idea. Well, how do you do it if you're raising marginal income tax rates? I spoke long enough. I don't want to keep this video too long. Appreciate, like I said before, if you get something from this video, please hit the like symbol and subscribe to my channel. Thank you very much, and I will see you again. Bye now.